All right, everyone. Well, thanks for joining today's new customer strategy for your affiliate program. My name is Chris. I'm going to be your host for today. We're going to take a walk through just some different tips and ways to look at your new customer strategy for your affiliate program, how to take a look at some different ways to optimize with specific publishers and things like that as well. Just so everyone knows, I am recording today's webinar, and I'll be sending a copy of the deck out to everyone after the webinar is over. So if you do have any questions as we're going along, if you can hang on to them till the end, I'll open it up for just some questions and discussion once the webinar is over. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So to take a quick look at the agenda for this webinar, we're going to do an introduction to new customer strategy, how you're going to define your new customers. We'll take a look at new customer strategy just for program-wide tactics. Then we'll look at new customer strategy based on some specific publisher types and the different ways that you can optimize with them. And we'll look at some of the ways that you can analyze and take a look at your reporting to continue to make adjustments to your strategy if you need to. And then lastly, we'll take a look at the value of repeat customers for your program. So for most advertisers, acquiring new customers is definitely key for your brand's growth. So your affiliate program can play a major role in helping you to achieve that. So it's also essential for growing your brand, and it helps you to track incrementality for the program. So if you haven't yet thought about it, or maybe you're first starting to consider a new program, this is a good webinar to take a look at just some of the overall tactics for how you might want to implement this. So there's a few factors that you're going to want to consider when you're looking at your new customers or new to file customers. One that you might want to look at is the size of your business and your brand recognition. Are you a completely new brand? Are you someone that's maybe trying to get some new customers for the first time? Are you trying to maybe remarket a little bit and get in front of a new audience? So there's a couple things that you wanted to take a look at there. Also, what's your lifetime customer value, or what's the selling cycle of your products? Do you have maybe a larger average order value product that takes a little bit to get that first customer, or do you have a type of product that maybe you're looking to get more customers that will become repeat customers? But then also, what are you looking for in terms of a new customer? Maybe it's someone that hasn't shopped in the last 6 months or the last year, or maybe it's a completely new customer or set of email or info. So when you're first looking at this for your program, and I just have this set up as an example, you want to take a look at what your existing new customer conversion rate is, and then get an idea of what you'd like to use as your goal for your affiliate program. So this is just an example here, but it's always good to take a look at where your program currently is. Maybe you wanted to look at year-to-date data, or maybe the past 6 months, to get an idea of what you'd like to use for your goal going forward for your strategy. An important thing to note as we're taking a look at getting into some of this new to file strategy info, Pepperjam dynamic tracking will allow you to track new versus existing customers. So it also gives you the ability to adjust your commissions based on that. So it's great to help incentivize publishers to drive some new customer sales. It also gives you the ability to use different attribution features, which can help with different tactics that you're using to help drive those sales as well. If you're not currently using dynamic tracking, definitely reach out to customer-care@pepperjam.com or your account manager, and we'll talk about the next steps for getting that set up. All right, so let's take a look at just some program-wide tactics for a new customer strategy. So when you're first taking a look at your program as well, you want to take a look at existing publishers and new publisher relationships. So who are those publishers that you're already joined to, and who are some publishers that you can look to recruit that can help you out with your new customer strategy? And then what are some of the different technology options like dynamic commissioning, or maybe some attribution features that you can take advantage of to help reach those goals as well? So a quick breakdown of what you're going to want to look at. Based on the status, you can divide your publishers into segments. So when you're looking at your existing publishers, you might want to view coupon publishers, loyalty publishers, maybe content bloggers or Instagrammers, sub-affiliate networks, and then your just overall program-wide tactics. So you'll also taking a look at those new publishers and determining who you're going to want to recruit based on maybe their audience and demographic that'll be a good fit. And then just some general tips on the strategy. strategically working with your publishers to use dynamic commissioning, and you might want to set some attainable goals for that. So it's always a good idea to understand who that publisher is and what some realistic goals are when you're first setting this up for the program. But it's always important to continue to incentivize publishers as well for existing and repeat customer sales. So we'll get into that a little bit later, but when you're taking a look at your new customer strategy, it's important to remember the importance of those repeat customers. And then just ongoing monitoring of publisher performance and reviewing your reports to see that your goals are being met or making any changes as you need to as you're going along. It's definitely key to your strategy for the program. So we mentioned dynamic commissioning already, but a couple attribution features that you might want to take a look at that can help you out with your new customer strategy. I have two highlighted here, and the first one is preferred publisher. If you use preferred publisher, this gives the publisher the ability to be credited for a sale as long as they're present in your click stream. So even if they weren't the last click before a purchase was made, they'll still get credit for that transaction. This is great if you're working with influencers or bloggers that maybe first start a customer's journey to their purchase, but don't always get credit for that sale because someone might be in the shopping cart and maybe last minute they decide to hop out and see if they can find a coupon code or something like that. They're not always credited with that last click. So giving them that preferred publisher status helps ensure that they're getting credit there. And you can also use exclusive codes. So maybe you wanted to create some codes for publishers that are exclusive to them, or even just for new to file campaigns. So maybe it only works for customers that are making their first purchase. So you can use both of these in conjunction with commission increases, and it's a great way to get some extra placements or extra exposure with publishers, especially if you don't have some extra ability to pay flat fees or things like that with publishers. So definitely a first piece to take a look at when you're initiating your new customer strategy is to view your existing customers. So you can identify your top new customer drivers by using the transaction details report. And you also want to note that maybe your top 10 to 20 publishers are not the same as your top 10 to 20 new customer drivers. So keep in mind that you're going to want to focus on who's really driving that new customer traffic when you're focusing on this type of campaign. And this is a great thing to bring up with these publishers when you're having some email communication or maybe you're hopping on calls with them just to talk about what your goals are for the program and if you're looking to implement this type of new customer campaign. If they can talk about some of the best ways to optimize with them or some placements that they have that might be able to help you reach your goals. So it's also a good idea to start recruiting new publishers to the program that can help you achieve some of your new customer goals as well. So when you're looking for new publishers to recruit, there's a couple key things that you want to take a look at. So their demographics and their audience. So that type of audience that you're going to want to look for, if it's an audience that you want to get in front of for the first time or an audience that you know is going to be looking for your type of product, it's always a good idea to take a look at that publisher's media kit or maybe ask them what their demographics and audience are, and they can share some additional stats on that as well. A lot of publishers, and especially cashback publishers, will have a new stores page. So this is also great for initiating some new customer tactics with them, as their member base may be looking for new stores that get added often to get an idea of what's new and what's fresh. So taking a look at what loyalty publishers might offer that type of option. And then also taking a look at maybe coupon or loyalty publishers and seeing what of your competitors that are on those sites. So it gives you a better idea to the fact that their members might be interested in that type of product and interested in something that you're selling. So it gives you an idea of what their audience base is into as well. All right, so let's take a look at some new customer strategy tips based on some individual publisher types. So I'm not going to go too far into this, but I wanted to just add something quick here for just individual publisher types that you might want to take a look at. So coupon sites that are publishers that are looking for coupons or codes to drive customers to their site. Loyalty sites, which are also known as cashback publishers. And these are great for new customer strategy as they have a member base that will constantly be looking for cashback rates as well. Sub-affiliate networks, which are networks that have either bloggers or other content sites or website owners that maybe don't have their own publisher account on the network, and they offer them the ability to run that through their sub-affiliate network. So they give you access to a whole bunch of additional publishers that you wouldn't have access to originally. And then influencers like bloggers or Instagrammers or social sites that can help publish some content or reviews and things like that. So we'll take a look at targeting new to file with coupon publishers. So a couple kind of key tactics that you can take a look at when you're working with these types of publishers is to create vanity codes or maybe threshold offers if there's a certain sale amount that you're looking for to increase your average order value. Maybe offer them an exclusive code. Maybe it's for only new customers or for top deal sites, and maybe only with specific product SKUs or categories. And you can also send some targeted emails and work with coupon publishers to send emails specifically based on your category or maybe to customers that are looking for that type of product or that buy types of products with some of your competitors to make sure you're getting in front of an audience that might want to make that first purchase. And I wanted to note here as well, we did recently run a study with 13 advertisers on the network in the clothing and apparel category. That consistently sended new to file for the month between October of 2016 to April of 2017. So the results were that on average, Retail Me Not drove 70% new customer sales versus 30% existing, and they also maintained an average order value of 84 through that process as well. So sometimes there's a misconception that coupon publishers are not great at driving new customer traffic, or maybe someone's just looking for a code that already was going to shop anyway. But just keep in mind that coupon publishers can be an essential part to your new customer strategy. So let's take a look at targeting new to file with loyalty publishers. So it's a good idea to perform a competitive analysis with your top loyalty sites or loyalty sites that you're taking a look at to see which of your competitors are on there, and then identify some opportunities with them. So maybe you want to participate in some extra cash back events to increase your incremental revenue. You can also secure solo newsletters with them. So this is great to maybe target shoppers that are looking for that specific category or that shop for similar sites in your competitors as well. So targeting new to file with sub-affiliate publishers. Just to keep in mind, sub-affiliate publishers do give you access to influencers and bloggers. So it's pretty similar to working with influencers and bloggers directly. So you can utilize preferred publisher status to gain additional exposure, and different sub-affiliate networks will also give you preferred status options. So it gets you in front of different influencers and content sites within their network. So it helps to get you some additional exposure as well. So you might want to grant a higher commission rate, and a lot of sub-affiliate networks, for example, Retail Me Not, will offer a different list of capabilities and different options if you're able to give them a higher commission amount. And then working with your influencer publishers directly. A couple things to keep in mind here. You might want to use some gifting or maybe free options for publishers to maybe write product reviews and gain some additional exposure with them. Similarly to working with sub-affiliate networks, you can use the preferred publisher status or even give them an exclusive code in exchange for maybe some articles or content and different social media posts and things like that as well. So I wanted to add a quick case study here. Recently, Skimlinks found that editorial sites are consistently raising awareness and being that first click or that first kind of influencer that drives that customer to their purchase, but they're rarely the last click before the purchase is actually made. So this is often something that you run into when you're working with your influencers. So it's important to keep in mind that you can use some of the different attribution features like exclusive code or preferred publisher status to help work with your influencers and get them back to be an active part of your program. Another case study I wanted to just quickly highlight as well. Last year, Magic Links was able to turn on preferred publisher status and initiate a VIC, or a very important creator campaign. And in this example, we used a mid-sized fashion retailer that saw an increase of 375% in clicks and 24,000% in revenue increase. So it's important to be able to let those influencers that are within Magic Links as a sub-affiliate know that they'll be able to be guaranteed credit for those sales. So it gets them more motivated to go out and promote your program as well. So for all of this, you're going to want to take a look at some different ways to continue to analyze and take a look at reports to make any adjustments that you need to for your strategy. So if you haven't yet taken a look at this, Pepperjam does offer you the ability to add KPIs or key performance indicators for your program. And one of them is percentage of new users. So if you're looking to initiate a new to file campaign, it's a good idea to maybe add this as one of your top 3 KPIs for the program. An important report to take a look at is the transaction details report. Because you can add an additional column for new to file, and you can also filter by new to file sales. So maybe you only wanted to see a list of publishers that are driving new to file sales for that period of time you wanted to view. And it gives you more insight into which of those publishers that are driving those new sales for the program. And when you're taking a look at these reports, there's a few questions that you're going to want to ask yourself. So who are the top performing publishers for new customer sales? And has that shifted in the last 6 months or the last year? Maybe someone that recently joined is driving a lot of new customer sales. You might want to start engaging with them as well. Are there publishers that drove some new customer sales but have more of a potential to optimize with? So maybe someone has been driving some new customer sales, but you haven't yet worked with them. Consider reaching out to discuss maybe ways to increase that. And then are there top new customer driving publishers that you have yet to test placements with? So maybe some of your top new customer driving publishers are publishers you've yet to maybe test an email campaign with, or maybe test some commission increases with. So these are all kind of questions that you want to ask yourself as you're going through your new customer strategy. As I mentioned before, it's also important to keep in mind the value of repeat customers when you're looking at this. So while you're implementing your new to file campaign, it's important to nurture your existing customer base. So keep in mind that if you're going to drastically reduce or eliminate commissions for existing customers, it can be detrimental to your program's success, or even working with publishers that may not be willing to promote if they have a drastically lowered rate for existing customers. So definitely consider the lifetime value of a repeat customer, and that working with publishers, you should also consider a balance between your new customer initiative, but then also taking a look at your repeat customers. So just a couple summary items here. First, you're going to want to determine your tracking type, and if you need to, start the process for updating to dynamic commissioning. So definitely reach out to us if you need to update your tracking as well. You're going to want to define how you view new customers, develop your new customer strategy for the program, and then execute that based on the different publisher types and how they can help you achieve those results. Throughout the whole process, you're going to want to track and analyze your results to make sure that you can make any adjustments or work with publishers closely as you continue. And then analyze your specific publisher trends to determine how they're moving your new customer strategy along, or if there's different ways that you can work with those publishers. And then while executing your new strategy, definitely take a look at the value of repeat customers as well. All right, everyone. We just want to open it up for any questions, so feel free to send those in, and then I'll follow up here soon. Thanks. So I have a question on if you need the dynamic tracking pixel to see the new customer metrics. So you do need to have dynamic tracking in order to pass a new to file parameter. And do we have any other questions? All right, so I have a question on how you determine your current tracking type. So what you can do is go to the Settings tab. You'll see Commission Terms. That page should be set up to, if you're an itemized or basic account, you'll see a certain setup that will not give you the option to view new customer info or view some of the different things that are attributed through dynamic commissioning. So you'll see that there when you're going to that page, or if you do have any questions, definitely reach out to the customer cares team and we'll take a look at that for the program as well. All right, and I have a question on how you can give a publisher preferred status. So as long as you're using dynamic tracking, you'll have access to attribution features. So under the Settings tab, you'll see an option for attribution features. You'll see the various options there as well. One of them is preferred publisher status. You can only have one preferred publisher at a time, so you can enable that and then choose the publisher you'd like to give preferred status to. And then once they're set up, they'll be that publisher that's able to get the credit for that period of time. So you might want to test that with some specific publishers and then maybe adjust who you're giving your preferred status to based on the different campaigns that you're running. And I have a question on the Retail Me Not case study as well, and I'll definitely include that in the follow-up with the deck. I do have some additional info and just some extra stats around that everyone can take a look at as well. All right, and do we have any other questions? All right, everyone. Well, if we don't have any other questions, I just want to thank everyone for attending today's webinar. As I mentioned before, I'll be sending out a copy of the deck with some additional info on some of the case studies for you to take a look at as well. And then shortly after that, a recorded version of the webinar will be located in the Knowledge Center. So be on the lookout for upcoming webinars that you can sign up for as well. And if you're interested in any topics or anything like that, definitely let us know. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining. Have a great day.